Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Johanna K. Campana, your instructor for today's class. So, before we proceed to our discussion, I would like you to answer this exercise or an activity so that you can get an idea what is our topic for today. So, here's the answers. So, our topic for this time is about punctuation. So, what is punctuation? Is the system of signs or symbols given to a reader to show how a sentence is constructed and how it should be read. Sentences are the building blocks used to construct a written accounts. So they are complete statement. So punctuation shows how the sentence should be read and makes the meaning clear. So it helps constructing a sentence show how things should be read. So there are 14 punctuation marks that are used in English language. So what are those 14 punctuation marks? So let's find out. So first, we have the period. So what is period? A period ends a declarative sentence. It appears immediately after the last letter of a sentence. This one is probably the most straightforward, also referred to as a full stop. The period denotes the end of a sentence. A full sentence is considered as one that is complete and declarative. So here's an example. The dog ran under the fence. The roses are beautiful. Periods are also used in abbreviations, such as in names or titles. So here are examples on how to use a period in abbreviations. Dr. Smith read his patient's chart. Mr. H. Potter opened his front door. Second is question marks. So what is a question mark? A question mark is used at the end of a sentence that asks a direct question. A question mark also ends a sentence. However, it ends a sentence that is a direct question. Typically, sentences that are questions begin with what, how, where, why, when, or who. So here, how to use a question marks in a sentence. Why didn't you like the movie last night? How's your day? Third, we have the exclamation point. So what is an exclamation point? An exclamation point or exclamation mark is also used at the end of a sentence when that sentence expresses an intense emotion. The expression can be a variety of things, from excitement, disgust, anger, joy, or anything else. Exclamation points are meant to add emphasis to a sentence. So here's an example on how to use an exclamation point in a sentence. Look out behind you, she yelled. I'm so excited to go to the park tomorrow. So fourth, we have the comma. So what is a comma? Comma separates a series of independent sentences, nouns, adjectives, verbs, or phrases. That sentence you just read was a good example of commas separating nouns in a series. Commas are used to insert a pause into a sentence. The purpose of the pause can be for different reasons, such as to separate ideas, phrases, or even alter the structure of a sentence. Commas have a few different uses. Commas are used for a direct address. So here's an example. Joe, it was nice to see you again. Commas can also be used to list items in a sentence. So here's an example. We went shopping and bought shoes, a dress, two shirts, and a pair of pants. Fifth, we have a colon. So what is a colon? A colon can introduce a list or a single item. A colon has three primary uses. One way to use it is when introducing something, such as a quote, an example, a series, or an explanation. So here's an example. She took 4 classes last semester: history, biology, arts, and economics. Next, we have the semicolon. So what is a semicolon? A semicolon separates sentences that are closely related but grammatically independent. A semicolon is similar to a colon. Semicolon links two independent clauses. However, in this case, the clauses are more closely related than when you would use a colon. So here's an example. I have a meeting tomorrow morning. I can go out tonight. Both clauses are independent enough to be their own sentences. But instead of using a period, it's possible to use a semicolon to show both clauses are connected. Seventh, we have dash. So there are two types of dashes that vary in size and in use: the M dash and the N dash. So let's find out what is N dash and M dash. N dash. Typically shorter in length, the N dash is used to denote a range such as between numbers or dates. Examples: the company was operation from 1990 to 2000. He took the Chicago-New York train last night. M dash. This dash is longer and is sometimes used instead of other punctuation marks like commas, colons, or parentheses. Next, we have the hyphen. What is a hyphen? The hyphen is a punctuation mark used to join words and to separate syllables of a single word. Not to be confused with a dash. A hyphen is used in compound words when two or more words are connected. So here are some examples of hyphenated words. Step by step. Mother-in-law. Ex-boyfriend. Next, we have a bracket. So what is bracket? Brackets are used to clarify something or technical terms or explanations. It can also be used to clarify a subject when quoting another person or text. So here are an examples.
She agrees that cats are better than dogs. Adam said that summer is my favorite time of year. Next, we have the braces. So what is braces? It's unlikely you'll need to use braces very often unless you're writing a mathematical or technical text. However, it's still good to know so you don't accidentally use them instead of brackets or parentheses. Braces are usually used in operations. For example,
11th, we have the parenthesis. So what is a parenthesis?
parentheses are used to supply further details or information or as an aside.
Parentheses can be often be replaced with commas, and the sentence would retain its same meaning. So here's an example.
Kate, who is Matt's wife, likes to go for walks.
Next, we have the apostrophe. So what is an apostrophe?
Apostrophes are meant to show that a letter or letters have been omitted and also to indicate the possessive or constructions.
It can also be used to pluralize lowercase letters. So here's an example.
I've been working from home for 6 months and it's great. Rebecca's dog had surgery yesterday.
Next, we have the quotation marks. So what is a quotation mark?
Quotation marks are used to denote text, speech, or words spoken by someone else.
It is also used to indicate dialogue. So here are the examples.
I don't like this, said Mark. She told him that she prefers not to think about that.
Single quotation marks, not to be confused with apostrophes, are often used for a quote within a quote. So here are an example.
Jill told her mother Jack ran up the hill and he said he was going to fetch a pail of water before he fell.
Last, we have an ellipsis. So what is an ellipsis?
An ellipsis is 3 periods used together to represent an omission of words or letters. They are often used to jump from one sentence or phrase to another while omitting unnecessary or obvious words.
It is also used when quoting someone and unnecessary words are left out. So here are the examples on how to use ellipses in a sentence.
At midnight, she began to count down 10, 9, 8, and then the ball dropped. When Martin Luther King said, I have a dream, he was talking about civil rights and an end to racism.
So that's all the 14th punctuation marks. So I would like to ask you, why is punctuation is important? Punctuation is important because it directs your writing's flow. If your writing is a roadway, Then your punctuation marks are the traffic signs. They show the reader where to pause, where to come to a complete stop, and how to interpret the phrases they come across. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. God bless us all.